Morning YouTube, how's it going? Reza-Kaze with my Reza thoughts, afterthoughts precisely, on Batman Arkham Asylum. Before I get into that, you are seeing my XMB bar for, hope that's what it's called, for my trophies list on basically all the games I played. Why is I'm running out of ideas for my thoughts episodes. I've got one, two, just quickly looking at it, 3 games left. That's another month's worth of stuff. And then I have no more, games built up. Hopefully by that time, some other games will come out. I think the next one's not until Darksiders 2. But if you notice any game on that list that you see me ran through, I'm not going to verbally say them. But if you see any names and want to hear my thoughts, you're probably not going to see any gameplay video, but I will give you my thoughts nonetheless of, compressed thoughts of the game and what I normally do. If it's a good game, if it's a buy, if it's a rent, if it's a don't ever touch the game. And some of them, you notice that there was only like 1% or 0% trophies. Some of those games that I started playing and never got around to finishing it, or it just didn't keep my interest whatsoever. Some of them friends played on my name, so like Little Big Planet, I never played that, so don't ask me about that game. Anyways, Arkham Asylum Afterthoughts. I started recording this spot because you played it about 5 minutes before the scene. Your screen starts going all fuzzy and whatnot, and I swear to God, my system was fucking up on me. I thought something wrong with my system. I was panicking. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It was like it's scratchy all over the place. Like it was a combination of lag and some sort of decompression or something like that. I have no idea how else to explain it, but I could have sworn it wasn't part of the game. So I'm just like, well, fuck this. I'm about to turn this off, and all of a sudden it goes into a loading screen. I'm like, okay. And then it hits into this part. I'm like, there's no way that could be part of it. Man, they really fucked with my mind on that one. Pretty sounds exactly like what Scarecrow would do anyways. So some afterthoughts. Let's just hit the negative parts right off the bat. Just pump that right out of the way. It's the whole area is small. The outside, and there's a lot of backtracking to do. You start off in intensive care, and then you gotta go to the gardens, warden's office, and you gotta go back to the gardens or back to intensive care. There is a lot of backtracking throughout the level, throughout the whole asylum. And I know it is definitely a small area, but it just seems like there's too much backtracking to be considered a positive part of that game. Some of those levels are really thought out, really clear and precise, but it's just too much backtracking in my mind. It was annoying. Now, tying in with the backtracking, the gameplay is very, very linear. Now, I'm going to say that this is a negative part of the game, but it's definitely not a positive. The thing with that I found out of linear gameplay is that it's a double-edged sword for me. I don't like the linear gameplay because I have no choices of what to do, but then again, I hate non-linear gameplay because I don't know what to do next. Like Final Fantasy 13-2, that game was really non-linear. There was some points, but you can go to like 3 or 4 different levels before you hit the next one, and you'd be fine. You wouldn't lose anything. I don't think like that. I think that there is a certain way of getting the story done that it has to be done this way. It has to be done that way. One specific way. The non-linear aspect of the game just adds in a sort of what should I be doing next? And while Arkham Asylum definitely had that ability to, put you on the right track at every time, and you can go off and find your little bonuses, the tokens, or whatever the hell else you collected in this game, and it had all that ready to go. But it's just, I'm gonna stop using linear and non-linear gameplay as positive or negatives, because I hate both aspects of it. It can't be linear, it can't be non-linear. I'm not happy with either or. It's my opinion. It just blows. But hey, let's get to the positive parts of the game here, because this game definitely was a good game. It was very big on replay value. You can beat the game and go back and play it. There's plenty of collectibles, plenty of Riddler quests that you can get done to go for 100%, to get all those bonuses, to get those trophies. There is a lot to do in the game, and this is one of the types of games that I like to play when there's a lot to do, not with just the main story, but also a lot to do. He was just fucking me up. Just a lot to do in the general sense of the game without having to get any DLC and whatnot. DLC is good, but I'm not going to get into that. The game has a lot to do, and in that sense, it gets your money's worth, and that's what I like about video games. If you're going to pay, especially new, $50-$60 for a game, you want your damn money's worth. That's why I play a lot of RPGs and stuff like that, shooter games, because I can just keep playing it and definitely get my money's worth of the game. The other big positive thing is that, I'll admit, I'm not a huge Batman fan. I was never really big on the whole comic book cartoon sort of thing turned game, because they never end up well. You heard me mention Superman 64. A lot of the superhero type games or movie turn game never go well. They just end up absolutely horrible. So as far as Batman goes, I was a fan. I watched some of the movies. I didn't really watch any of the cartoons or read any of the comics. So as far as the story goes, the whole Batman's history, I knew the basics. His family got killed. The butler is his best friend. He lives a double life. I know some of the identities of the villains, but I was never huge on anything else in the story. But the history that you learn from this game, whether the files that you picked up, the audio tapes, the Riddler trophies, the character bios, you all get that. You get everything of the game. And I feel even for the big fans of Batman, they can easily still learn something from this. And if I learn something, I know they can learn something. Like I said, I may not have been a huge Batman fan, but the game, just what it was told, it's just amazing. It was good. Made me feel like I was a big fan, even though I wasn't. That's what I found was really positive about it. Now, overall, the game was not what I was expecting. The story was compelling, but it's not like it kept drawing me in. You know that, like I talked about in the previous video, there's that hook, that bam, oh my god, they just did that. I gotta keep playing. Screw anything else. I said that I didn't get that hook in the before video because that early part of the game I didn't get any of it. Continuing on, I really felt like I could have stopped playing this game at any time and not really lose sleep over it. Meaning that there wasn't, like I said, that hook, that draw, that raw gamer value that I have to keep playing. It wasn't there. I think that's what Arkham Asylum was missing. This game got huge reviews, great scores from, the magazines, from G4 and all that stuff. But I don't think it was as good as everyone made it out to be. The hype was way more than the game made it out to be, Like, there are just certain games that get that huge hype, get that huge going, and it turns out it's not that good. I'm not going to say Arkham Asylum wasn't good. I'm just saying it wasn't that good. Based on just the way this game worked, the way it was going, you probably wouldn't have given another look. This game probably is worth buying it when it came out, but in my opinion, it definitely was not. Price drop. It was definitely look, like a rent, definitely a borrow from a friend. Nowadays, it's definitely worth the buy. It's like $20 at the most, used, whatever. No one's really playing this anymore. No online functions. There isn't much else to say except that the game, it definitely seemed to have lacking multiple things. Precisely that hook. That hook is what I keep coming back to. It did not make me want to play the game over and over again. It barely kept me wanting to play the game. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the commentary. Hope you guys decide to give it a look. It definitely is worth a look. It is Batman, by the way. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video shortly. Bye-bye.